side of the car. More load on each tire equals more grip, so make sure you're smooth with the controls to prevent the weight transfer from becoming too violent. The weight transfer from becoming too violent.
Okay guys, can we hear me? Okay guys, can we hear me? There we go, sorted. Let's see where we end up, and let's see who's where, shall we? So currently 116.5, which is a very solid lap from my teammate. Okay, let's take a look at the setup, let's see what we've got going on, because around Spain I'm not particularly quick. I'm consistent, but quick I wouldn't say so. So let's jump out. Yes, I know I'm in the Alfa Romeo today. The Alfa Romeo is not my favourite car in the game. It sounds completely and utterly awful, but it is an interesting one. Okay, let's try and stay out of people's way while they're on a flying lap. We'll just have to see what happens here. And sorry if there's some disruption into the audio, as I know you can hear the noise of the car as well as my audio over the top. It's not the best thing in the world, and I will sort it out once I've done a flying lap at least. So I'll get that sorted out before I head out onto the track for the race itself, because the last thing you want to hear is some bullshit going on in the background. So far a pretty solid flight out lap. Let's hope that the flying lap is something along the same pace. Someone's already taken a lot of curb there. Yes, I know I'm not attacking the flying lap, the out lap, as much as I should, but you understand the fact that I have to start the race on these tyres, so I'm trying not to burn through fuel. And I also forgot to turn my hot lap off, so I ran out of ERS just before I came across the line. That's not a good thing. A little bit out of shape going through turn 2. That's not what I wanted. That's going to cost me a lot of time, especially in a short qualifying session like this. Honestly, I will be happy just to qualify inside the top 10. As I said, Spain is not my best track, especially in the dry. The wet, I love. A few people will invalidate their laps there, so the fact that they invalidate laps might come to my aid. And a purple middle sector, was not expecting to be that quick. See, I just kept it consistent through that middle sector, and everybody will have been trying to floor it, especially turn 6 and 7. And 6 and 7 is where you can massively screw up your lap around Spain. And across the line, and P2, a solid P2. That is unexpected. Let's see if we can get another lap in on these set of tyres. Avoid that curb. Have I got enough? Have I got enough? That's a bad exit out of there. Better exit out of turn 7. And I've screwed it up completely there. Okay, so I think I'm going to call it a day with the qualifying session where it is, and hopefully this should be enough to keep me inside the top 10. knowing that I have a lot more time in this setup. Okay, so coming into the pits now, we'll just cruise in because obviously don't want that disqualification or time penalty in the pit lane. There we are, and now as we're in the pits, I will sort the audio settings out. So I've got to go into my actual settings now. And use the TV as that. There we go, that sorted that. So hopefully now we won't have Jeff in our ear telling us that we've got X, Y and Z to do and so on. I hope that has worked because I really don't want to have this noise in my ear for the entire lap. It does appear that it has not worked, so we will just stay in the pits now and wait for the race. Obviously Kugataz, who is my teammate for today, started in P2, and that Roland going an equally impressive P3, so that's me down to P5.
We're 13th in the speed trap, 202.8 miles per hour.
I've only set one lap on these tyres, while my teammate has done 2 on his. That Roland has gone for 1 lap on his, and Spronky has gone for 2 laps on his, and McConey being a 10th down on me on the medium tyre. That shows on how much pace is left in this set of softs. Obviously I do not want any heroics into turn 1. And if anyone dives up the inside, they will be getting a very angry response.
Okay guys, can we... We'll just have to see what happens here. I'm sorry if there's some disruption into the audio, as I know you can hear the noise of the car as well as my... The noise of the car as well as my...
Okay, so still in P5, and with 3 minutes left of the session, it's going to take a big lap from a couple of the new guys down in 8th, 9th and 10th in order to come straight over the top. So there is a chance, if I work my strategy well enough, of a podium today, and especially if I keep it together through turn 2, which is always my bad fucking spot on this track. Everyone's got a spot on every single track they hate, and that they clip and it turns them, well, puts them in a spin. For me, it's the curb of turn 2. Especially going sideways through turn 6 and on the entry to turn 7, a lot of people will lose it there, as it is quite difficult to, well, it's quite easy to lose the rear end on that turn in particular. It's a horrible corner. Whoever designed that corner needs putting down. Because there is a nice elevation change in it, but going from left to right, and Big Ben's just pushed me down to 6th. So there's just over half a second from pole down to P7, and just under a second between